Hello and welcome to your essential TNMMHPO briefing for November 2025. If you're a hospice and palliative care professional working in either Texas or New Mexico, well, you are in exactly the right place. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get you updated.
You know, everything the Texas and New Mexico Hospice Organization does is really built on these three core pillars: advocacy, education, and community. And as we go through today's updates, you're going to see how each and every one of them plays a huge role.
And of course, since it's November, we have to acknowledge that it's National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. This is such a perfect time to recognize the incredible, truly compassionate care that you all provide day in and day out. So from all of us, thank you for the absolutely vital work you do.
All right, let's jump right into our first section, your regulatory radar. We've got some really key dates and deadlines coming up that you are definitely going to want to have on your calendar. These are the ones you just can't miss.
First up, let's talk to our colleagues in New Mexico. The 57th legislative session is actually approaching a lot faster than you think, and believe me, now is the time to start getting prepared.
Just look at this timeline. It shows you exactly how fast things are about to move. Pre-filing kicks off on January 2nd, the session officially opens on the 20th, and then, boom. The deadline for any new bills is just 2 weeks later, on February 4th. The entire session is wrapped up by February 19th, with new laws going into effect in May. So that tiny window between January and February, that is the absolute critical time for advocacy.
Okay, now let's pivot over to Texas. For all our providers there, there's a very important hearing coming up that you need to know about.
Go ahead and mark this date down, December 19th, 2025. Trust me, this is a big one.
So what's the big deal about December 19th? Well, it's a public hearing down in Austin, and it's all about the proposed Medicaid payment rates for community hospice providers. And here's why this really matters to you. These rates directly impact your budget, your financial planning, and ultimately your ability to serve patients. This hearing is a crucial opportunity for our community's voice to be heard loud and clear.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Beyond these specific gates and deadlines, the entire industry is facing some pretty significant headwinds right now. So let's break down some of the top challenges that I know you're navigating.
First on the list is a change that's already hitting pretty hard: the expiration of those telehealth flexibilities. That officially ended back on September 30th.
And the real-world consequences, well, they're already being felt. Providers have had to stop new virtual visits, which of course creates financial risks. But honestly, more importantly, it poses a huge challenge for patient care, especially in those rural communities where travel can be such a massive barrier for families.
Next up, there's this cloud of uncertainty that's been hanging over the industry, the potential impact of a federal government shutdown.
Now, while your day-to-day Medicare payments would likely continue, a prolonged shutdown, that creates major uncertainty. It could delay regulatory guidance, totally disrupt planning, and it just makes it incredibly difficult to budget for the future with any kind of confidence. It really raises questions about long-term sustainability.
And the final headwind we'll cover today is a big one. There's a brand new reporting tool from CMS that's causing a lot of concern, and frankly, a lot of questions in the industry. But the good news is this particular challenge also comes with a solution.
Which brings us perfectly to our next section, your TNMHPO toolkit. We're moving from challenge to solution, and I want to show you the key resources that are available to help you navigate these changes effectively. So let's talk about that new tool. It's called HOPE, and that stands for Hospice Outcomes and Patient Evaluation. Basically, this is the new quality reporting system from CMS, and it is going to completely replace the old hospice item set, or HIS, that you're all so used to. And TNMHPO has a fantastic resource to help you master this transition. It's an online course called From HIS to Hope. It's designed specifically to help you really understand the new quality measures, actually reduce your documentation burden, who doesn't want that, and sharpen your quality reporting. It's all about turning a new compliance hurdle into a genuine advantage.
And they've made it so incredibly accessible. For just $25, that's it. You get the course, you get 2 hours of CE credits for administrators, and you get a free 30-minute micro-webinar to get you ready for compliance. It is an absolutely fantastic value.
Okay, let's move into our final section and see how all this connects back to one of those core pillars we started with: community. Let's talk about some key upcoming opportunities for you to learn and network with your peers.
You've got 2 great options coming up. For our New Mexico members, there's a one-day intensive happening in Santa Fe on December 4th, and you can even use the code BOGO for a buy one, get one free offer, so grab a colleague. Then, for everyone, the big annual Texas and New Mexico conference is happening in Round Rock from March 4th to the 6th, and registration for that is officially open right now.
So as we wrap all this up, I want to leave you with this question to think about. After hearing about all these regulatory changes, the industry headwinds, the new tools on the horizon, where do you see the greatest opportunity for hospice care to innovate? It's a really crucial question for all of us to consider as we move forward. Thanks so much for tuning in.